The snake was crawling around the world, appearing in my dream, kept threatening to bite South Africa. The colonizing states were fighting among themselves, tearing each other to death in order to capture the mines, the diamonds, the gold, forgetting any British codes, any European manners, doing their best to captivate us, the natural citizens, for their aims. The waves of the bay were no more petting our face and body. The therapeutic side disappeared beneath the brutality, leaving no music, no whisper of the movement of the water. The disaster was obvious. Segregation became reality. They wanted to keep their areas neat, being unpolluted. They wouldn't let us, the black, the colored, to use their toilet. They kept distance, not to get in touch with, doing anything they could to avoid the so-called inferior from dirtying their environment. They were encaged in their prejudice, making our life miserable and narrowing our steps everywhere. Being imprisoned in their own mind, they were imprisoning us into their restricted codes, believing they were having manners, adapting the rules strongly and keeping us behind. They evacuated the black and the colored, swept them as unwanted objects, thrown into separate locations, the blacks into their locations, the colored in other locations, blocking emotions, losing their humanity. The whites were releasing aggression towards us, chained and jailed in the slavery to their obedience, serving the apartheid blindly, messengers of the law, robots identifying with the regime. Heavy clouds were hung in the air, compulsive pressure on the mind, preventing the white man from freedom of choice, imprisoning us, the colored, and the black into their own slavery. Strong walls, no ability to drill through, emphasizing the superiority of the white person everywhere, and forcing others to be humiliated, second degree, and justifying horrible things by what seemed to them the right to be done. It was my first time getting out of the location on my own, entering a shop in the city at the age of 16 in order to buy myself a pair of shoes. He was standing quite relaxed, his hands in his pockets, throwing an arrogant look towards me, turning his head, refusing to even meet my eyes. He was pushing his elbow towards me, not letting me stand in front of him in line, forcing me in a cruel way to understand I was inferior, making it clear he was the master. I was a disturbance, a dark person, a one to get rid of, to be pushed aside. I didn't give him the priority. If I didn't give him the priority, I might be kicked, reprimanded, or threatened with violence. I had to move, letting him be served first, knowing my place behind him, obeying automatically. Avoided refusal, caged into the apartheid, separated in the mind. I felt tensed, confused, embarrassed, but there was no way but to be chained to the situation. I was born into the apartheid, and I couldn't avoid the strict rules. Getting out of the shop, trying to digest what was happening, there was no place to sit and rest. There were no coffee shops, no restaurants open for me, for the black and the colored. We were deprived of any luxury in the locations, and in the city we were forbidden no entrance for us. I could only watch them, the whites enjoying their meals, the ice cream, the coffee, swallowing their food from the distance. There was no way I could come inside, since I was actually a polluted person who might pollute their neat area, disturbing them from enjoying their mealtime. I was strongly driven aside into a narrow window, buying my sandwich through it, thanking my good luck they would let me not starve. They appeared in my dreams, standing above, their face forwards and backwards, holding a whip, laughing, mocking. "Come on, Blackie, a small sandwich. Pick your arm, we'll let you have your sandwich. Move away, black dog. Move out of our way. Don't stand next to us. Keep distance. Don't dare entering our neat restaurants. You are forbidden. Forbidden for black and colored." I tried to push the huge figures from me, but they were holding my shoulders, stepping on me with their knees, laughing, screaming in my ears, "Go clean the dirt of your body. Drink for the apartheid." They wouldn't let me open my mouth. They shut it with their palm, torturing me, saying, "Swallow our food with your eyes. Behave nicely. Don't breathe next to us. We are gentle enough to let you have your sandwich through the window. Remember, you are inferior." The narrow window was hitting me again and again in my dreams. "Hurry, take the sandwich, pay and go. Can't stay too long. Have a sandwich and leave. Not wanted. Unwanted. Black is." The siren was already horning. It was 9 p.m. and it was warning the colored and the black to get out of the city. At 9:30 p.m. there would be another arm, the last one. It kept on sounding its horns, pushing my feet forward, hurrying me to escape the white man's whip. I couldn't breathe properly. I started to walk very fast. I had to run. I had no time for thinking. I hurried so much as I could, splitting my steps towards the road, almost automatically evacuated and swept from any belonging, any citizenship. Neither of us, the blacks, the colored, were talking. We were each one on his own, rapidly, one by one, everyone alone, springing out of the city from the exit. We were going straight, asking no questions. The mind was not free. The police vans were behind. My heart was beating, knowing the police was following. Must leave immediately. Hostility in their eyes, no softness. Stiff, sieged by strict regime, adopting mechanic orders, compulsive, tough manners, making it very clear that we were a danger for the white men. The siren was drilling in my ears. The hands of the clock were moving fast, minute after minute, hurrying my steps. I was haunted by my fear of being locked if I wasn't out of the city on time. I couldn't think. I was too tense. There was a needed urgency for fast walking, rushing, speeding. I was programmed into the procedure, not taught to ask, not enjoying any individuality at my core family, no conversations in my hometown against the regime, neither at the blacks and colored universities. We were brought up to accept and to obey in the family and in the South African society. Talking against the regime would mean rebelling and being arrested. No doubts, no thinking of changing. The mind was oppressed, not interested in the terror attacks in the border. It was too dangerous to be involved in any revolutionary movement. My eyes got shut. They appeared in my nightmares, the jailers holding chains in their hands, coming nearer and nearer. The face grew bigger and bigger, becoming huger, moving forward and backwards, causing me to feel dizzy, widening the pupils like torches, saying, "We are putting you in jail. We'll throw your body onto the court floor, black, dirty dog. You will remember us. You will memorize our face. Just dare not obeying." I was running so fast, I lost one of my shoes. I couldn't turn back to pick it. I had to continue. My foot got scratched, wounded, even bleeding. They kept shouting, "Hurry, hurry." The screams, the whips in the air, threatening to bend my back. They were hitting me using heavy batons. "We are putting you in jail. We'll throw your body onto the court floor, black dirty dog. You will remember us. You will memorize our faces. Just dare not obeying." I was running so fast, I lost one of my shoes. I couldn't turn back to pick it. I had to continue. My foot got scratched, wounded, even bleeding. They kept shouting, "Hurry, hurry." The screams, the whips in the air, threatening to bend my back. They were hitting me using heavy batons. I got up sweating, feeling high fever. I was considered the ultimate suspect, surrounded by suspicions everywhere, narrow, cunning looks, full of poison. They were following me, watching me, telling me, "You are black. You are not supposed to walk around at night time. Where are you going? What's in your bag?" Searching in, looking for drugs. I never had. The aliens appeared in my dreams again and again, telling me, "Run to the mountains, escape yourself," but there was nowhere to escape. I was born into the insults, into brutality. The oppressors were all around, imprisoning through the behavior, never letting but you be behind the bars, even when you walk on the streets. Blacks and colored, deprived from health insurance, no unemployment payment, not allowed to vote for the government to improve their situation. Hospitals only on the lines of the locations. No subsidized food. Separated areas for colored people and blacks on purpose as part of strategy. Poverty everywhere. Bad schools to keep us inferior, to leave the superiority of the white man and the gap between his knowledge and ours. Bad conditions for black, colored miners, low salaries for us, no promotions, deprived from any assistance to advance us. They were coming to my house. A neighbor called police, saying there was a black person living with a white girlfriend. A private detective came. I haven't opened the door, and he left. They couldn't bother me because the apartment was not signed on my name, since I couldn't rent an apartment in the white suburb. It was the woman who rented it. After a while, special force of the police came. They knocked on the door loudly, strongly. They said, "We know you are there. If you don't open, we break the door." I was in the shower with my girlfriend. I had no choice but to open. There were 5 of them. They had a squad leader. "What are you doing here? You are not allowed to be here." They smacked me. "I colored with a white woman. You can't touch a white woman. We come back tomorrow. We don't want to find you. You broke the law." No protection could be given. No attorney would protect you. You are blamed, you are brought to court, found guilty, and go to jail. Their hearts became evacuated from any feelings. They never saw but the procedure, totally blind by the regulations. They were throwing people's stuff on the street, sweeping them out of the area. Their brutality dried their souls, not caring to leave a person with no roof. There was no space, restrictions all around, insults everywhere. Black dog, black ass. They were having an image they grew up on, screaming in my face, yelling in my ears, bothering my sleep, sadistic looks, slow pulses, inferior. We'll lock you. Holding electrical shock next to both sides of my forehead, directly to my temple, telling me, kneel, say you believe in the apartheid, let us enjoy a bit, give us a performance. Venus the Hottentot appeared. They are torturing me. They have kidnapped me in order to amuse themselves. The so-called the enlightened French, those who brought the French Revolution, they have cut up my body, presenting and amuse them. Shameless people. The aliens appeared again and again. Run away. Run to the mountain. Music lifted me. Joining a white band in Johannesburg, performing in a white club, belonging to a white person, I was the first colored who ever gave a performance there. I was the first colored who ever gave a performance there, but the audience would clap their hands, and still no one except once kept to shake my hand. They wouldn't touch a colored person. They kept distance. Run to the mountains, the aliens kept saying, appearing in my flying vehicles from another planet with bolded lights directed towards me. I made my way out of Christianity. I no more wanted to be a part of their pretending mercifulness. I no more wanted to be blamed guilty even before being brought to court, and certainly at court, just because I am colored. I no more wanted to be seen as the ultimate suspect. I wanted to release myself from their daily narrow minds, from their avoiding me, my citizenship, my equal rights. I didn't want to stay among those who have been doing anything they could to oppress me and my colored and black brothers and sisters. I wanted to become part of those who accepted me so nicely and so warmly to their community, inviting me to the Jewish Shabbat, sharing with me the Challah and praying Vayachulu Hashamayim Ve'aretz. This was the beginning of my decision to convert. Being convinced more and more, meeting rabbis, I finally realized the call, run to the mountain. And at the age of 50, I left South Africa. I left the locations behind, Johannesburg, Bloemfontein, the mines, the whites stealing our natural treasures, leaving us poverty, misery, bad living conditions, and bad layers of memory. Knowing there was no perfect place in the world, being aware of the cooperation of Israel and the white, I still chose the homeland of the prophets and the nation who wrote, "Remember your slaves in Egypt." Moving to Israel, I thanked the elders, following my insight to where Ruth was accepted after leaving Moab with Naomi. Your people is my people, your God is my God. Ruth scroll, Megillat Ruth, tying my destiny with Israel.